My name is Nick Tan and I run a marketing agency called Outside Leads. And today I'm going to be talking about how in 3 days I helped an agency owner generate $5,000 of cash collected with no followers, no funnel, literally just using one offer and one post sent to the right people in the DMs. And this is what actually happened when I helped this agency owner close their very first deal off of a brand new Instagram account with very little content. So when it comes to IG DM ads, most people think you need a ton of followers, you need a bunch of content, or that you're not ready to run ads. Well, you're going to want to watch this because this is just one of several agencies I've launched this funnel for. Another agency owner I consulted in the car detailing niche actually closed their very first client off of a simple image ad using this exact DM script. We've now launched the same IG DM ad strategy in over 20 different industries in the local business space, whether that's home services, med spas, coaches, consultants, things like that. And over and over and over again, we see the same thing. A 7x return on ad spend with no brand, no followers, just a great offer with a very simple ad system. So in this video, I'm actually going to walk you through how to set up your IG DM ad directly in the ads manager, what to say in your messages to actually get replies, and the exact flow that gets people booking calls, even if you suck at selling. If you follow this exactly, there's no reason you can't land a client in the next 7 to 10 days, even with 0 followers. So let's jump right into building out this campaign. So the reason why I really like IG DM ads is because 1, you're going to see how quickly it is to set it up. 2, you don't need a huge budget to actually run IG DM ads. If you have a budget of $20 to $30 a day, that's less than a client in your agency, you can reinvest those funds and basically run that for your own marketing to generate clients. So first things first, we're in the ads manager here. We want to click create. Okay, I like to go off of engagement. So you're going to click engagement, and then what you're going to do is actually select manual engagement campaign. Okay, so we're going to actually manually set all the settings in the campaign up to how I like it. So I name it B2B hardscaping campaign, and you can put DM ad. Okay, very easy. So just name it whatever you want, just so it allows you to essentially know exactly what it is. Okay, leave buying type. Campaign objective should be engagement. Leave advantage campaign budget off. Leave A/B test off. And then we're going to click next. So now we're in the ad set level. And what we're going to do in the ad set level is basically create your targeting. All right. And the targeting is super simple, right? Facebook's algorithm has gotten really good. Most of where your targeting is actually going to be, it's going to be the most important is actually your call out in your video or your image ad. Okay, so what we're just going to call this is, so this campaign is to be targeting hardscapers. So I'm just going to name it hardscapers. Okay, super easy. So from here, your conversion location, make sure to select message destinations. Sometimes it'll choose one of these objectives. You always want it to be message destinations because we're running a DM ad, which is a messaging campaign. So from there, make sure your Instagram account is connected. And then what you want to do is have your performance goal be maximized number of conversations. All right. So from here, you can put your budget at whatever you want. For this campaign, you can spend $20, $30 a day. You'll still get great results. Obviously, if you have a higher budget, spend a little bit more. But yeah, choose whatever daily budget that you want to spend. I recommend, a minimum of, $20 a day. Locations, I'm going to choose United States and Canada because that's where our clients are located. So choose wherever your clients are located. And then from here, I always switch to original audience options. I'm not a fan of using the advantage audience. So switch to original, use original audience. And then from there, what you can do is you can actually add in any custom audiences you have. So if you have a list of, your exact audience that you want, that's fine. You can upload it. You can create lookalike audiences, things like that as well. But for the sake of ease, if this is your very first campaign, just run simple interest-based ads. Okay, so you can change the age range. For our clients, they're going to be, roughly 35 to 55. We leave it at as all genders. And then basically you can start to play around with who you're targeting. So from here, right, I can target landscaping as an interest. And you can see there how many people that are in this audience, almost, between 21 million and just under 25 million people. Okay, so I can start to look at different other interests as well. So this is interesting, right? Landscape design, that's also part of hardscaping. And honestly, that's probably good enough. Like, that's a huge audience at, relatively low budget, that this is more than enough. But add in as many interests as you want. Now, for placements, this is where we want to update some of the placements. Okay, so you can click edit here, right, and go manual placements. So that way you can deselect Facebook, audience network, and messenger. So all we really want is you to have your ad on the Instagram profile feed. Okay, so these ones are all good. So just make sure all the Instagram ones are selected. Super simple. So we only want to show our specific, ad on Instagram right now for this particular campaign. Obviously, if you want to show it on Facebook and things like that, you definitely can as well. But for IGDM ads, you really only want to, focus on Instagram, because obviously Instagram is the platform. But also you want to have your ad spend be as efficient as possible. Okay. From there, our ads are very direct. Okay, so our budget, or not budget. So our guarantee for our clients is 100K in 90 days. Okay, so super direct ad. Okay, super direct offer. This is one of the main things that I do very differently than a lot of other people out there, where they're, maybe sending to like free lead magnets and things like that. I run very direct ads with very direct offers, because the people who come in are very high intent, right? Obviously there's times, where those lead magnets and those types of campaigns work. But if you need a client fast, you need to make a direct offer. So that way you can get as high intent people into your funnel as possible. So what that's going to look like is create ad, single image. Make sure multi-advertiser ads are not selected. You do not want to select this. It's going to waste a bunch of spend. So set up creative. I'm running a video ad. You can run an image ad or a video ad. If it's an image ad, literally just have your offer with your call out of who you're targeting. So if I was targeting hardscapers, I would put on the image, hardscapers looking to make an extra 100K in the next 90 days, DM me, right? Super simple. But we actually have a video ad here. So what I'm going to do is upload it, select it. Perfect. All right, perfect. So we'll just skip through that real quick. So now this is what it's going to look like. Okay. So you can see 100K in 90 days, and we're calling out hardscapers. Okay. So super simple, very direct offer. That's arguably the most important. Me calling out hardscapers is very important, because Facebook's algorithm is so good that it's going to target hardscapers based on what I say. It's crazy. I don't know how it works, but somehow when you call out whoever you want, Facebook will find them and send them the ad. All right. So from there, we need to put some text. The text, again, is super simple. So text is just going to call out who you're targeting. So we target hardscapers above 400K per year. Okay, so super simple ad copy, right? So hardscapers above $400,000 per year in revenue will guarantee you $100,000 in new revenue in the next 90 days, or you don't pay. We do this using our Hardscape OS system that has helped hundreds of other businesses scale. If this interests you, DM me Hardscape OS. Very simple. Okay, we don't need to do a ton with the primary text, because the heavy lifting is done by the creative here. Okay. So call to action, we do send message. You can also do learn more, whatever you want. We just do send message, really simple. So now what you're gonna do is come down and actually set up the messaging template. So this is really cool because when they come in, they're gonna be able to send you a DM, and then what you can do is direct them to your VSL, which is awesome. Okay, so we'll click edit. So I like to be a little bit more selective here. So I'll say, if you're a hardscaper making 400K per year and want to add additional 100K in the next 90 days, DM below. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do here is actually get rid of these. And then you can actually, instead of putting a question, you can actually put the word that you put in your ad there, and basically, you know, have them hit that, right? So instead of saying DM below, click the Hardscape OS button below. So then what they do is they're going to click on this, okay? And then what you can actually put is, awesome. Here are the details of how the Hardscape OS system can generate you an extra 100K in 90 days. And then what you would do is attach your VSL. Okay, so VSL is gonna get sent to them, and then what's gonna happen is they're actually gonna watch the VSL, become more indoctrinated, and then you'll follow up with them. All right, so that's pretty much it. And then from there, you pretty much click publish and launch this. So you can see in a matter of like 10, 15 minutes, I can get a campaign up really, really quick, and all of a sudden, I'm going to have inbound leads coming who are intent, very high intent, because I'm running a direct offer. They're watching this particular reel that's calling them out, talking about my offer and things like that. And then what's going to happen is they're going to follow me on Instagram, they're going to message me, and then I'll be able to have a back and forth conversation with them. Now, what's also going to happen is if you have content on your Instagram, they'll go watch the Instagram after watching the VSL, and it will indoctrinate them even more. Some people will come in ready to book a call with you right away. Some people will watch your VSL, will look at your content, check you out before actually responding to you. Now, the other thing I want to cover real quick is just really messaging, okay? Very simple messaging template. When you send them the VSL, they're probably not going to, respond to you directly in the DMs right away after watching the VSL, so you have to prompt and follow up with them. Now, certain percentage of people are actually going to book a call from your VSL as well, because when we send them the link below the VSL is, a self calendar that they can self-schedule on. So what you want to do is, however long your VSL is, right? If your VSL is like 5 minutes long, then in like 10, 20 minutes, give them a little bit of time to check out the VSL and scroll your page. What you can actually do is follow up with them and said, hey, have you had a chance to watch the breakdown of how this offer works? And then basically from there, they'll say yes or no. Obviously, if they say yes, then you can say, awesome. Do you feel like this offer resonates with you and is something that can help you in your business? They say yes, then basically from there, you can manually schedule them in. So you can say, got it, let's jump on a 30-minute call sometime tomorrow to discuss if this system actually aligns with what you're looking for. How's tomorrow at 3 p.m.? And from there, confirm the time, lock in the invite, send them the calendar invite, and then you can nurture them a little bit more by sending them some case studies, testimonials, things like that. But that's how simple it is to set up this DM funnel and start generating calls right away. And that's how, Haley was able to basically generate $5,000 in cash collected right out the gate. And then this client is her most ideal client. Okay, that client is now paying an extra $1,500 per month every single month. And she had only spent $1,000 on that campaign. And she was also able to close another client on top of that for $1,500 a month. So you can see compounds, the ROI compounds really quick. $1,000 in, and then basically, was able to close $5K cash collected right out the gate, and then add $3,000 of MRR to her business month over month over month. So it compounds really quick. So that is the way to scale at a low budget. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want this exact messaging script and the exact SOP, I have this in a Notion doc. Just DM me on Instagram. I'll send it over to you. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.